Everybody, listen carefully.
You're listening to the SEC Insider Hit on the Bolt Bound Show.
Fueled by Fleetway Market.
Fuel up your car and cooler at Fleetway this football season.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. Jason throws this out at me. If you could make any voice call your games in the NCAA 25 video game, who would it be? Bob Green from Montana Tech. I remember we played that a month or two ago. That was hilarious.
That guy rocks.
Whoever put together that montage or whatever it was of that guy's, that's some of the craziest stuff I've ever heard in my life. I mean, he wouldn't miss a beat down here.
No.
You know?
Not at all.
That dude could post up at Noxapater today, and, I mean, he'd be athletic director and head coach by lunch.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he's like those old guys.
Part-time mayor.
Exactly.
Also got a place on the city council.
Mm-hmm. Can never take those kind of guys seriously. You know, they're always going to give you something, and he probably has a little back and forth with the lady at the grocery store. You know, like one of those relationships.
He's the guy that still goes to the post office.
Right.
Yeah.
And he walks in, they're like, Bobby.
Yeah. I'd rather have major heart surgery than go to the post office.
Come on.
What?
It's not that bad.
Oh, I went the other day. I had to go mail something to somebody in December. It was terrible. And Wendy was going to do it. Something happened, and I had to do it. And I acted like a 4-year-old. Good Lord. I'm never going back. Kind of like Walmart. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Crawfish prices dip, and so Mudbugs is ready for you to come party and have fun. And so this is the best crawfish and shrimp and crab legs in the state of Mississippi. They have 2 locations, West Government Street in Brandon and Old Fannin Road near the reservoir. So shout out to Mudbugs and all their amazing food. And then they've got great beers, super duper beers, including some of the awesome beers that we represent, like Key City and Michelob Ultra and Stella and Neutrals and Bud Light and many, many more. Did I say Michelob Ultra?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. You know, I think I'm going to have some wings this weekend, so I'm probably going to go to Two Brothers.
Ooh.
Yep.
So what are you, do you dip in ranch or do you like get a little sauce on the side or you just go straight dry?
They come with the barbecue sauce, and I'll do a little bit of that, but I really don't need it. That's how good those wings are.
Oh, they are delicious. Those pork rind nachos too.
And the guy that texts me at 12:20, he may still be there when I get up there today.
Who knows? They should have.
He may open it up.
Hey, yeah. Don't they have the mimosa towers? Don't they do mimosas there?
I don't know. They may.
Yeah,
they have Prosecco, which is smart. I can't imagine being a restaurant this day and age and not having Prosecco. I mean, beautiful women. I mean, I love drinking Prosecco, but beautiful women love drinking Prosecco, and it makes everybody more fun.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
French 75,
whatever.
French 76. Right after a round of tennis, go to a patio, get you a little Prosecco. Or maybe a French 75.
Man, you are hooked up on the just because of your waiting tables on the tennis, on the Madison tennis moms local.
I'm just
you could have gotten a combination though, because Northeast Jackson will come out here to the Renaissance too.
Right.
So you could have gotten a combo of Northeast Jackson and Madison County.
I think I was really trying to get like a sponsor. You know what I mean? Like an old lady who thinks I'm cute will give me money. Not a sugar mama, because that's different. I'm looking for a sponsor. I'm looking for an older lady that has too much money than she knows what to do with.
Right.
I'll go to lunch with her a couple times. She gives me a lot of money, and that's about it.
I think there'd be more involved there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think you're trying to paint an abstract picture, and that's not reality.
Yeah.
So while I think that you think you're pretty cute, you're 24, you're young, you got the world by the tail, that's still not going to cut it for this cougar or whatever you're trying to describe.
Come on. What if I wear a medium? A medium shirt, the pythons are busting out.
There's still going to be more ass on your end for cash.
Oh, you think
Which
so?
I'm fine with. I mean, I call that capitalism, but some people call it another name.
I call that a small business. That's what that's a locally run business.
Well, anyway. Okay, so what day is it here? Tortilla chip day?
It is. It's tortilla chip day.
So, and it's play tennis day?
Yeah, it is.
That's funny that you just went with the whole hot tennis ladies deal.
Yeah, come on.
And then it's play tennis day. Okay. Anyway, tortilla chips, nachos.
Got to.
Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere. There we go.
Would you say that nachos are like cereal where you have to eat it fast before it gets soggy? Or if it's done right, it won't get soggy?
Well, they're going to get soggy, period. But I love nachos so much that I can eat them soggy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the same.
I don't want soggy bacon. We've gone through that, right? And some of these other things that we like to frame up. I mean, it's not like my favorite thing, but especially if you make clean nachos at the house. So, but man, it's one of my favorite dishes in the world.
See, I'm just more of
and
a
if
dip
a restaurant
guy.
can't do good nachos, just go ahead and get up and leave.
That's your criteria?
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be difficult.
Right. That's a good point. But I'm more of a dip guy myself. You give me like a chorizo queso. And because then you can decide how much is on there. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
That's the problem with nachos.
See, I always do sour cream on the side. I don't want a lot of sour cream on you. You know me.
Right.
I don't want a lot of sour cream. Period. I don't actually need sour cream ever for the rest of my life. But I don't want a lot of sour cream on my nachos.
Oh no, I gotta go
this,
sour.
this whole big dollop of sour cream on nachos. I mean, I don't know when that became a thing, but we need to undo that.
Well, people started doing it in soups first, and then they started going real crazy.
Now, and that's why would you? It's like pouring a bunch of. I don't understand pouring a bunch of sauce on like some kind of really nice fish, like a swordfish or something.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Or triple tail or something like that. That makes no sense to me. So, like I told you, the first time I ever had a meal at this swanky place in Scottsdale, the chef thought that you need to put barbecue sauce on the filet. Well, you don't need to do that.
No.
I don't care what culinary school, what CIA institute of whatever, London, New York, L.A., Chicago, Vegas, you don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody made a good point on the text line. Margarita Day and Tortilla Chip Day should be on the same day.
You know, you're right. I stopped by Aplos yesterday, and they had all the little table tents up, and they looked great. And they did Patron Palomas and Patron Margaritas throughout the day. So I thought that was cool. I think we need to do it once a month.
Ooh, yeah. You know what I saw that they were serving them in? They were serving the Palomas in the little Patron bottles.
Yeah.
With like a hole in the top. That was cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
I took a picture.
They're adding some style, a little flavor. I like it.
What is this? Cold catfish? Good grief.
Leftover cold catfish.
Does that sound good?
No.
It does not.
Now, you kind of caught me off guard with the cold ribs, and I could kind of see the
Hold
cold
on,
ribs.
Let's back up. The Out of Bounds show is brought to you by Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary at the Briar Patch tomorrow morning for brunch. It's French Quarter Saturday. The Briar Patch is amazing. Livingston's awesome. And Brian and JC and the crew got it going on. Their food's wonderful. It's a super cool place. Enjoy a Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary and a charcuterie board, or their burger's great, all at the Briar Patch in Livingston. Look, Hall of Fame stuff is going into the refrigerator on a Saturday and getting a cold rib and pairing it with the Bloody Mary at 11 a.m.
Ooh,
Maybe 10:30.
I did like the dippage. You talked about the dippage where you dip the rib in the Bloody Mary.
The fact that you're not on board with cold ribs is a real big problem for me.
I'm skeptical, I don't think it's the best cold. I don't think it's the best cold hot food. I think the best cold hot food around is pizza, no doubt. The best.
I'm with you. Cold pizza's good.
Yeah, the best hot food to eat
cold pizza.
Yeah, that's right. Good pizza that's cold. But just the ribs kind of throws me off.
Pizza doesn't deliver to where I live.
Oh, right.
So, or not that I know of. there was this weird window. So we've been out there 17, 18 years out on the lake. And there was this window like in year 2. I don't know what happened. Like, I guess they redrew the thing because we had little kids. And we got pizza for like 4 months. And then I think a Domino's driver or somebody walked in one day and said, I'm not doing, something happened. Could never get it back out there. And it's the craziest thing in the world. Like, where I live is way closer to like Renaissance and the Highway than like Reunion.
Oh, wow.
But it's just tucked away.
Right.
But yet in Jackson, I grew up in Belhaven, and the first Domino's in Jackson was on State Street. So that was all I ever knew was pizza. And like all my buddies had to wait, a little while. Yeah. I guess they dropped one in Northside Drive maybe a few years later. Do you order pizza we do it in Starkville, but we don't order pizza to our house. Do you order pizza to your house?
No. I mean, not really.
That's not really a thing you do once you get older unless you have kids, right?
Right. Yeah. I live right next to a Domino's also.
But that doesn't appeal to you.
So, no, but I usually, if I'm getting pizza, I want to drive to either like Jackson, say Salamukis, or the one in Madison, or, like local spots. Like when I was younger, Applos.
Yeah.
I used to ride my bike to Little Caesars with my friends, and we'd all split a Little Caesars pizza in the Max grocery store parking lot.
I know exactly where that is.
You know, yeah, right there. And then that's when I vowed that I will never have a regular Little Caesars pizza again. Their thin crust is not terrible.
They do a thin crust now?
They do a thin crust now. Thin crust isn't terrible.
when you have kids, you do, you end up at places with Little Caesars pizza, and there's not a lot to it.
Yeah, birthday parties,
and it's real thick. And so it's just not, I don't remember the last time I had a Little Caesars pizza, so I'm pretty good.
I can imagine you never eating a Little Caesars pizza.
No, when you have kids and like when you have ball games and dance recitals and you're running around town and they're 4, 6, and 6 and 8 and 8 and 10 and 10 and 12, it's survival of the fittest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why you can get run over here. I mean, get in the way of a mom. At 3:00 in the afternoon with one's got to be at baseball and one's got to be at dance.
And they're screaming out of Madison Middle, just fire on the tires.
Good luck with that. Where's my audio sheet? I just got it. All right, let's actually talk some sports. I don't really want to. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Good morning, welcome in. We're driven by your next Ford F-150 truck, Mack Hike Ford, I-55 North in Jackson. I don't know how excited y'all are about college baseball. Well, Southern Miss is. Southern Miss is excited about college baseball this weekend. They're playing Missouri State. They should be. I don't know how excited Mississippi State fans are, but I expect probably some good crowds and people partying. I'm just going for the food. I'm still debating why I'm going. I could be talked out of it by like 11 o'clock today, but so I'm on the fence. I'll ask the listeners, what should I do? Stay or go? The Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. Jason, your thoughts. Should I go to Starkville?
You should go.
Okay.
I think road warriors are few and far between, and I think that, we need to keep it up.
Okay.
You were just in Starkville. I know you miss it. You
right.
need to go back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do this audio. Johnny Manziel was on this show with Shannon Sharp. That's how much we know. And I want him to talk about Reggie Bush. I don't want to get into the other. Johnny Manziel talking about why Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back.
What Reggie did then is legal now that somebody could do.
Right.
It wouldn't make him ineligible now, even though it did at the time. And in the grand scheme of things, I probably did way worse than Reggie.
Right.
And everybody's going to sit here and be like, why does he still have his Heisman but Reggie doesn't? And I can tell you the exact reason why. What I've been told is that Reggie can't get his Heisman Trophy back until the NCAA makes his records and his accolades on the field for that year reinstated.
Okay.
As we know what the NCAA is now, what do you think the chances are that they're going to do the right thing? Not looking likely, and it's sad. And from the top down, from the NCAA, they've been so wrong with so many things that you would hope that one day they would do the right thing and do this. For what I can in my part, I will always stand on this table right here for Reggie Bush and do anything that I can in my power to make sure that it's possible for him to even get his trophy back.
It's a crusader, it sounds like. Sounds like Johnny Manziel is putting the sword up and leading into battle for Reggie Bush.
Well, he's right. Reggie Bush should have his Heisman back. And, his Heisman should have never been taken away. But,
right.
It's unfortunate.
Is that kind of a random hill for him to die on?
Johnny Manziel?
Yeah. Is that kind of a random thing for him to be very enthusiastic about, or is that fitting for him?
Because Johnny was probably, in 12, he made his debut somewhere in there when he smoked everybody that year as the starting quarterback as a redshirt freshman for the Texas A&M Aggies. So let's back up to 03. I think that roughly 03-ish when Reggie won out in Southern Cal, 03-04. That means Manziel was about, I'm thinking 11, 12 years old. So that was right in the wheelhouse. I mean, he like all of us, we had somebody at 11 years old that we thought was great.
Of course.
I had Ricky Henderson, Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And so he thought his was Reggie Bush, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
It's not just that he thinks he's a great player. He was in that magical time in his life where Reggie was the thing.
Okay. So, yeah, see, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Also,
who was your guy at 10 years old?
Jared Allen. Jared Allen.
Good grief. Did you really just say that?
Yeah.
That was like telling me Selena Gomez when we were trying to, think about like supermodel gorgeous women.
She is a supermodel gorgeous woman. Selena Gomez, what hasn't she done? She's been on the cover of Vogue. She's done all the photo shoots, and you know,
4 people read Vogue a month.
It's a super, like, she's a model.
It's like telling me that Newsweek is interesting.
Maybe it's just one of those things that I have like a special place in my heart for Selena, but I just think, and also, Jared Allen was my favorite player growing up anyway. So
Hold on.
it's gonna
let's try this again. Who other than Jared Allen at 10 years old did you love to watch play?
When it comes to football, I loved watching Larry Fitzgerald because that was around the same time of the Super Bowl with the Steelers.
When they got their heart ripped out because Roethlisberger and them drove down the field.
Mm-hmm. But I also loved to watch Calvin Johnson. For some reason, I was drawn to the wide receivers and then Chris Johnson, just because he was lightning quick.
Interesting.
Yeah. But basketball, I loved watching like Carmelo and Kobe because their shots were so smooth.
Mellow.
So I could see because he watched him growing up, tried to emulate his game, that sort of thing. That makes more sense.
Well, Johnny football was something that we had not, I don't want to say never seen or witnessed, but we had not. I mean, to me, he's the most entertaining player I've ever watched.
In
there's
person
some
or in
great
general?
ones, but the way that he could run around and make stuff happen. I mean, he was Brett Favre, but more polished. No, it's probably not X. I mean, nobody remembers watching Brett Favre play for Southern Miss because that was just back at a time when you didn't have TV games, and I doubt they let him throw that much at Southern Miss. Manziel happened to play for a coach that let him let it rip.
Right.
I mean, he was a ton of fun to watch.
He was. That Alabama win, too, when the world basically broke in half after he did that. Incredible.
Yeah, if that would have happened today, he would have broken Twitter and Snapchat and TikTok and all those things that y'all are on.
And NIL records.
Can you imagine what Johnny I mean, I know he got a lot under the table, and I don't blame him, but can you imagine what he would have gotten NIL from A&M, considering the money they have?
Ooh, who would have gotten more, Reggie or Johnny? Because both programs, tons of money.
Who would have gotten more? Reggie who would have received more NIL money? Reggie Bush or Johnny Manziel? I lean Eileen Manziel because of the commitment in Texas. But, I mean, I know L.A. and Southern Cal have plenty of money.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. If they started putting Reggie in, say, Subway commercials, like it's over.
Oh, I'm just thinking from donors. I get what you're talking
I'm thinking
about.
like
You're thinking like big national endorsements.
Like the Caleb Williams stuff,
That may be a lean to Reggie because of the LA market.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was.
I was just thinking gung ho committed donors.
Oh, gotcha.
Southern Cal's, kind of they're in, they're out, whatever. A&M has wanted to win, they just can't win.
Right.
They raise $450 million the next day?
Yes.
No, seriously. I mean, they did a $450 to $500 million deal on Kyle Field starting the next day when they flew back that Sunday, Monday. I think by Monday or that next Friday, they had like $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
And they did the massive deal off of that game.
Yeah.
Of course, a few weeks later, he would win the Heisman.
Well, you got to give it to Johnny. He's seen all this money they're making. Go out and make a little cheddar for yourself.
Well, can you imagine? Well, he's not. He's not responsible and focused enough. Again, if he did a podcast alone, I mean, he could do it with somebody. He would make tons of money.
No doubt.
Just side hustle. Again, 30, 40, 50K a month, maybe more.
Imagine if he paid Rob Gronkowski a specific amount of money to come on his show.
I heard this story about Gronk. Gronk took a recruiting trip to Clemson and got hammered and lost his wallet. And crazy what all, played out, but was a wild man. And, but still ended up, he said he loved it. But now Clemson wasn't Clemson, till a few years later. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, several years later, but he ended up going to Arizona.
It's pretty wild. Arizona and Cincinnati are where two of the best tight ends ever came from.
It's a good point. Travis Kelce, Cincinnati. Rob Gronkowski, Arizona.
And then you got to slip in, Iowa. Is Iowa tight end you? Have we decided that?
Yeah, and that brings back bad memories for me because they made one play in the Outback Bowl a few years ago against Joe Moorhead, and it was to the tight end who was wide open. And they had like negative 31 rushing yards.
Wow.
And Mississippi and Joe Moorhead found a way to lose. Now that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what, but I think it was negative 31 rushing yards, and Iowa won.
Man, and they don't like scoring the football.
No.
Oof. People talk about how hard it is to be a Cowboys fan. It's got to be hard to be an Iowa fan.
Yeah, but the Cowboys score at times.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be hard if you're Iowa and you win games 13-12.
Yeah.
You going home happy?
Yeah, but they are boring.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish Mississippi State basketball would put a little more emphasis on offense.
Well, Cam Matthews, when he starts getting physical, the game changes.
Let me say this. If Chris Lamonis and Mississippi State baseball lose this series this weekend, it could get ugly. Monday's show could be beyond insanity. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We want you to go to the Keg House on Highway 51, Jason, in Ridgeland by Casadores. 41 beers on tap. They've got muffalettas, gumbo. Great place to watch the games this weekend. The Keg House, Highway 51 in Ridgeland by Casadores.